Hi guys, so today we are talking all about timeless style. And I don't really believe in timeless style because I do think that eventually, of course, there are larger scale trends and larger scale changes in what people wear that, for example, 100 years ago would have been different than they are now. But I do believe in timeless beauty and harmony within your look. And that brings me to the first tip, because this is a YouTube video and we have 5 tips for timeless style. But I did want to organize my thoughts in this way to share them with you guys. So the first thing is, of course, to find things that are truly flattering for you. Now, this doesn't only mean, if you are already familiar with my channel, this doesn't only mean your body geometry type and your color type. So finding colors and silhouettes that are flattering for your bone structure and for your body type. This also means things like vertical proportions as well as body shape. So all of those things combined are, your color type, your bone structure, your best silhouettes, your most flattering colors, and everything like that are all going to combine to give you a look that is really very flattering for you, no matter the time and no matter the place. I'm going to share a few things that are super easy and super simple if you're completely new here, so that you can get started with this. And you can also take a look around my channel. I have a lot of stuff on bone structure types, silhouettes, color types, and everything like that. And if you're still confused, then I also offer consults through my website, and I'll leave a link to those down below. So the things that you can do to find your best silhouettes or best lines are, first of all, think about how tall you look. So if you look really tall, no matter what your actual height is, then you should generally go for longer silhouettes and longer lines. So that means avoiding things that are cropped and going for things that have longer lines. And if you have shorter lines, or if you look short in general, again, this is a rule of thumb. You guys, the people who are old on my channel and not new on my channel, you guys know that it's not always something that works, but it's a good rule of thumb. If you have a short vertical line, so that means if you look short, no matter your height, then you're going to look good in short lines, so that means cropped things. So that's sort of the first aspect of the things that would be flattering for you. And the second thing is that you want to think about how wide your bones are. So if you have narrow bones, then you're going to look good in more fitted things. And if you have wide bones, then you'll look good in wider things. So that means looser things. So those two are good rules of thumb to get you started. There are also other things, such as the angles of your body and what happens when you have different combinations of long and short lines and all kinds of things. And I'll leave a link down below to some videos that you can watch to really learn more about the process of finding your most flattering silhouettes. And then I want to talk about color type really briefly. So to find your color type, the most important thing by far is warm or cool. And most people tend to know if they're warm or cool. So a quick thing you can do is you can test orange versus magenta. So those are the things that you can get started with right away if you are curious to try these things out. So you can think about the length of your lines, the width of your silhouette, and then you can think about whether you are most flattered by warm or cool colors. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I want to take a little interlude from the rest of the tips and talk about why I don't really believe in timeless style, and why I believe in timeless beauty instead, and what that actually means to me. So for example, if you look at Marilyn Monroe is really flattered by rounded shapes in her hair because she has rounded bones to her bone structure. And that is something that will always be true, no matter if it's 1920, 2020, 1960, or anything in between. That will always be true, and it's something that goes beyond certain styles or certain times, and it's really something that's very fundamental in the aesthetics of the look. And in the same way, there are other examples of this. Simple aesthetic examples like green and red are always complementary colors. They were complementary colors in 1820, and they're still complementary colors now. They will always look good next to each other, and likewise, rounded shapes will always look good against Marilyn Monroe's face because Marilyn Monroe has rounded shapes to her bone structure. So that's one example of how having harmony really leads to timeless beauty. The next tip is to beware of your tolerance to certain trends. So what do I mean by tolerance? For example, when something first comes out, we might not like it. And I am a firm believer that oftentimes we don't like it for a reason. For example, let me give a concrete example. Cropped wide leg pants. Cropped wide leg pants, I saw them everywhere, and they look really good on some people, but they actually don't flatter the silhouettes and the bone structures of most people. I would say maybe 15% of the population truly looks good in those stiff, short, wide leg cropped pants. So when they first came out, I heard a lot of people saying, oh, well, I don't really like those or anything like that. And then later, we sort of developed a tolerance for them. And even if they are not necessarily flattering, because we're so used to seeing them, we have that tolerance that we just think that it's normal. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that, but that kind of tolerance can really throw you off when you're really trying to understand more objectively sort of what looks good with my silhouette, what looks good with my body type versus what is just something that I'm used to seeing and that's why I like it. The third tip is to find ways to style things that look good on you that might not be on trend right now in a way that is more current. For example, if you are one of the people in the small subset of the population who is more flattered by low-rise jeans than high-rise jeans, you can find a way to sort of modernize that rise by maybe instead of wearing it with a crop top or something like that, you could wear it maybe with a loose top with a front tuck or something like that that will make it look more modern and more current. So the fourth tip is, talking about basics. Basics, on the one hand, they do tend to look more timeless, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessary to only own basics or only wear basics to look timeless. I think that what's most timeless is definitely the harmony and the timeless beauty that you will see when you are harmonizing with your natural coloring, with your natural bone structure and everything like that. So I think that is going to be the most important thing, and as long as those things are flattering and as long as those things are harmonious with what you look like, then I don't think that basics are necessarily that important if you don't like them. But basics are important for all kinds of other things, like having a functional wardrobe and all kinds of other things. But I wanted to throw that out there. However, there's one more thing though. On the other hand, basics are less likely to look outdated because you can imagine, for example, if you wear a Victorian style dress, that would be very much not something that would fit in with the current trends. But if you wear a basic top with a Victorian style necklace or something, or really intricate antique earrings, that tends to be completely sort of, I guess, normal or timeless. So what I'm trying to say here is that accessories are things that you can really play around with a lot. You can wear an accessory from 300 years ago, or you could wear a more modern accessory, and people do this all the time. So in that sense, if you wear basics and then you accessorize with whatever you feel personally flatters you, then that's going to be a more timeless way to go if you want to look both timeless in style and if you want to look timeless in beauty as well. And the final thing is, when in doubt, go for natural. You guys remember, it used to be the best thing ever to have straight, shiny hair. Sleek and shine this, sleek and shine that, whatever. And now it's all about matte hair. So, even things that we kind of take for granted now, and the things that we take for granted are the kind of the longer range trends. Those things can come and go too, and they might not be here in 20 years because the sleek hair thing, I think that was like 10 years ago, wasn't it? I'm sure someone will correct me, but you guys, I think you guys know what I'm saying. So the thing is that makeup trends come and go, hair trends come and go. The first priority is, of course, making sure that it's inherently flattering to you, and in that way, you'll have that timeless harmony. Just like complementary colors never go out of style, things that are flattering to you and flattering clothing never really goes out of style. Looking good in your clothing never goes out of style. So, focusing on that as a first priority, but when you're in doubt, just go for natural. So, more natural looking makeup, natural looking hair texture, whatever your hair texture is. And I think that is going to be the way to go because, of course, looking like you naturally look is not ever going to go out of style because that's what humans look like. So that is it, you guys. That's all I have to say for this video. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I'm going to leave some links for some more videos that you could watch, and I'm also going to leave a link to my consults, and I'll leave a link to Miriam Style Club where we have exclusive content. So leave me a comment and I will talk to you next time.